If you feel like you're running nowhere in every direction, then this yoga class will give you permission to stop and take one seat. Hello and welcome to Yoga with Melissa. I'm Melissa, real yoga for real people. This is yoga so that you can move better, feel better, and connect with your true nature. In a culture that wants us to do more, be more, and consume more, this is deeply transformational hatha yoga that invites us to bring self-compassion and self-awareness to ourselves, our relationships, and the world we inhabit. If you're new here, I put out a new full-length yoga class every single Friday, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single class. And while you're at it, like the video and let me know in the comments what you liked about the video. If you're feeling overwhelmed and anxious in your life right now and you find the spoken teachings too much, then feel free to press mute until the oral teachings become less overwhelming. I try to keep the teachings here online as brief as possible, but if you'd like the full teachings on stopping, running nowhere, and taking one seat, then make sure you watch all the way to the end and I will tell you how you can get that. I have a testimonial for you today from Reclined from YouTube. And Reclined says, "This was just what I needed." And then she's talking about last week's class this morning. "I relished the pace and the slow, easy, thoughtful comments throughout the practice." So thank you to Reclined, and thank you to each and every one of you who take the time to leave your comments on YouTube, on iTunes, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on my website. And as always, the most in-depth conversations happen in our membership community. Thanks to Squeeze Yoga Clothing for my clothes. Today I am wearing a long sleeve red bamboo top with a gray Om on it, and I'm wearing black leggings with the Om Mani Padme Om around the ankle in purple. Thanks to Dusky Leaf for our props. Today I am using a bolster and 2 blocks, so you need a bolster and 2 blocks. We're going to come together for the peace mantra to begin. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bonaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvina Vadita Mastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So that mantra means protect us together, student and teacher. May our studies nourish us together. May we work together for the union of the good of all. May our learning be luminous and purposeful. May we live in harmony. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. So I'll get you to start today in recline bound angles pose. Take the blocks so that they come underneath your knees. Bring the soles of your feet together and you can rest back over your bolster. Feel the support of the props underneath you. Let your hips and inner groin relax fully. And breathe into your lower belly. Relax all the muscles on your face. Jack Kornfield says, when we take the one seat, we become our own monastery. We create the compassionate space that allows for the arising of all things. Sorrows, loneliness, shame, desire, regret, frustration, and happiness. So reflect on your own life and that continuum between running nowhere in every direction and creating that monastery in your own body to hold all things. And begin to form an intention for what it is that you would like to receive from your yoga practice today. What is it that you are trying to create, sustain, release, or rebirth in your life? And how can your yoga practice help you to do that? And then once you've formed your intention, you can draw up through your pelvic floor, draw your navel back to your spine, bring your knees together. Tuck your chin and slowly roll to your side. And then you can put your bolster off to the side. And you're going to come lengthwise on your mat for frog pose. So you'll take your legs wide at a 90-degree angle with your feet flexed. And actually that bolster would be useful. Put the bolster in front of you. Feet flexed, legs at a 90-degree angle. And you're going to come down. You can probably rest on this bolster here. Keep your tailbone tucked under. Keep sinking back. The tendency is going to be to lean forward and lift your tailbone. But you want to stay back and keep your tailbone tucked under. You're going to feel this in your groin and your inner thighs. You may want to put extra support underneath your knees. It is not easy to take one seat and completely face what is true about your life. It takes courage. Okay, to come out of this pose, you're going to bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push up, draw your knees in. And then let's just do a little knee sway. Create some extra padding for underneath your knees. You're going to come up onto your knees and step your left leg forward. And from here, you're going to put your hands on the inside of your left foot. Walk over to your right knee. Come onto the inside of your right knee. So it's like the frog leg again. And then you're going to lean forward towards your left heel. So another groin and hip stretch here. And then find your way out of that pose. And we'll go ahead and do that on the other side. So take a step forward with your right foot. Lean forward into lunge pose. Take your hands on the inside of your right foot. You're going to walk over towards your left knee. Pick up your left knee, come onto the inside of your left knee, and then lean forward towards your right heel. And notice that it's different on this side, and that's okay. So in our culture, there's a tendency to move from one thing to the next when we get uncomfortable. If we're bored or anxious, there's so many options we can move on. And social media is the perfect outlet to scroll and move on if we get bored or anxious or uncomfortable. If you don't like this yoga class, you can move on to another yoga class. Okay, so find your way out of this posture. Come into downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes under, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Look forward at the space between your hands. Walk your feet into your hands. And then roll up to standing. Turn the long way on your mat, and you're going to take your feet wide and turn your toes out to 10 and 2 o'clock. You're going to grasp your hands, turn your left hand out, your right hand in, grasp your fingers, and just pull them apart at the level of your heart. And then you're going to sink straight down for Goddess Victory Squat with the Ganesh Mudra for courage. In sitting in one seat, we connect ourselves with the present moment in this body and on this earth. So press up through your feet, turn your toes so they face front. And then you're going to roll your pelvis over your leg bones. Drop the crown of your head towards the ground. Slowly roll up to standing. And then make your way down onto the ground, onto your belly. Wiggle your hips from side to side on your belly to release your low back. Tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee, lengthen back through your right heel. Feel the space that creates in your low back. Tuck your left toes under, lift through your left knee and your left heel. Feel the space. Take your arms in front of you and walk your elbows underneath your shoulder so that you come into Sphinx pose. We become our own monastery. We create the compassionate space that allows for the arising of all things. The sorrow, the loneliness, the shame, the desire, the regret, the frustration, and the happiness. Find a way out of the pose. And then grab your bolster again and come on to your back. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor and your bolster down by the right side of your body at about the level of your hips. And you're going to have your arms in a soft T. Press into your feet. Pick up your hips and take them over to the left side of your mat, and then place your knees on your bolster. Helps if you place your bolster on your mat because then it won't slip around. Bring your legs back to the center. Press into your feet and untuck your hips. Take your bolster over to the other side. Press into your feet, lift your hips, take them over to the right side of your mat, and then bring your legs up onto the bolster. And then come back to the center. Press into your feet. We're going to give you 2 options for the final pose. We're going to do happy baby pose. You're going to bring your legs up and hold onto your feet. You can stay here. If this pose is a challenge for you, like it is for me, then you can take the bolster underneath your hips. And do the pose with the bolster underneath your hips. So when we take our one seat, whether the one seat be an actual seat like a meditation posture, or the one seat like a yoga pose, like happy baby pose, we experience whatever arises again and again. And we let go saying, ah, this too, and this too. And then go ahead and release this pose from your body. Press into your feet and move the bolster down so that it will be underneath your knees. You can place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart center. We'll just actually notice where you feel guided. If that feels good, do that. But I feel like I want both hands on my belly, so do what feels best for you. Actually, it just feels good if I do my right hand on my heart, my left hand on my belly. See what feels right for you and your body today. And you can stay here in Savasana to receive and integrate your practice. And then I'm going to sit up and read you a poem. The poem is called Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass. The one who is eating sugar out of my hand. who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I don't know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? So reflect back on the class and how it relates to you and your life. And notice what stands out for you. And then gradually allow your breath to deepen. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bend your knees. Roll to your right side. And slowly make your way up to seated. We're going to do the Ganesh Mudra now for courage. And we're going to do this mudra for courage. And then we're going to do some of the closeout stuff, which I understand many of you may turn off. But I'm going to be doing another embodied meditation that I would love for you to stay with us all the way to the end of the class today. So maybe let your class roll a little bit longer than you maybe usually do. Okay? So you're going to turn your left palm out because there's another meditation coming. Left palm out, your right palm in, and hook your fingers and then pull them apart. And the meditation has to do with this class. So pull them apart and close your eyes. And this is the Ganesh Mudra for courage, because it takes courage to take that one seat. Then turn your left palm up, your right palm down. We'll gather in the fruits of our practice first to ourselves, and then we're going to offer them out into the world. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. So stay with me because I still have another meditation for you. So I know you might normally turn off now, but stay with me. So did it feel good to stop running nowhere and take one seat? If it did, give this video a thumbs up. And if you know somebody else who would benefit from stop running nowhere and taking one seat, then feel free to share this video with them. And I would like to thank Sean and Anne-Marie for their donations, because those donations help us to continually improve the show. And in fact, this week we are filming on a new lens. Let us know if you like the look of this show. Tim and I are in love with this new lens because I just love the picture quality that it gives. It gives both a sharp and a buttery finish. So your donations help us to continually improve the show, make improvements like this, like purchasing a new lens. So we really appreciate that. You can donate by clicking on the link below monetarily, but you can also donate of your time by leaving your comments and let me know how you stop running nowhere and take your one seat in the comments below. Okay, at the beginning of the class, I told you I was going to keep the teachings here as brief as possible because the feedback that I receive is that you would like my online classes to be as with not very much talking. So I really try to honor that here. So here's the second part. Here's the second part of the meditation. We're going to do that now. So come back into your body, lengthen up through your spine. Close your eyes. We'll actually go back to the Ganesh Mudra because I think it's going to take some courage to tune into your body and do these reflective questions. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And allow yourself to rest in your body here. Feel into your body and let your attention be gently on your breath in your body. So this is going to be a little bit of truth serum, a little bit of honest Melissa. So stay with really feeling into your body and ask yourself, are you caught up in sampling? Are you running from one kind of yoga practice to another? Are you doing one kind of spiritual practice, another? Are you going from one kind of practice to another kind of practice to another kind of practice? If you do that, you'll notice that as you go from one to the next, your practice will not continue to build as you go from one to the next. This kind of sampling, sometimes it's called spiritual materialism, will keep you unhappy and caught up in the same old struggles. So keep staying in your body and be honest with yourself. If your years of practice haven't changed anything and your practice hasn't progressed, then it's time to ask yourself now, am I sampling? Am I running from one thing to the next? Ask yourself, do I have a committed practice with one teacher and one specific form of practice? Or am I running all over the place from one kind of spiritual practice to another? Until you choose one discipline and commit to it, a deeper understanding of yourself and the world will elude you. So take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. And then check in with your body again. And ask yourself, do you want to go deeper with these teachings? And there may be a resonance for you, There may be some kind of charge for you in your body, and there may not be. Now, if you are feeling so called, then I do hold space for small groups of students within our membership community to go deep with the full teachings on taking one seat. And I will be going forward with the rest of these teachings in my weekly talk and the live classes in our membership community. And these happen at 9:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. on Pacific time on Mondays. And there's a recording provided afterwards if you can't make those times. So if you're a member, you already have access to these live classes as part of your membership. And if you're not a member, just feel into your body and you'll know if you're feeling called to take that next step right now. You'll feel that resonance. If you're not feeling called, then we have no pressure for you to join us. We want you there if you're feeling called to be there. And then you're going to take a deep breath in again and let it fall out of your mouth. So if you're feeling that resonance in your body, if you're feeling that charge in your body, if you know that's true for you, then there's a link here below and you can become a member. So I'm sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our ocean. May you be as rooted as the trees in our forest. And may you be as strong as our mountains. Om Shanti. Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.